Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're here with Amanda Margulies to discuss some key questions about her new film opening, 11:59.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We're lucky to have you. All right, let's start with the first question. How did you come about the story of 11:59?
Well, on one of our first days working on the portfolio project, my teacher told us to make our project about something that we know best. So I chose to make mine about stress and having too much on your plate. Similar to the main character Taylor, I have so much schoolwork that sometimes it just becomes too much and I begin to panic just like her.
Wow, I sure had no idea you were struggling with that. I love how you took a personal look into your film. How did you research and plan for this big project of yours?
I made sure to research a lot before beginning this project. I focused mainly on the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, as I felt that Ferris related most to Taylor's last-minute tendencies. I also had to pick my genre and target audience. For me, coming of age was a no-brainer. It's something that I live through every day. This made it easier to pick my target audience of teenage students between the ages of 14 and 19 because they're going through the same situations as me. I was able to utilize the website blogger.com to document my whole process, which helped me track where I was and what I still needed to accomplish. I also used canva.com to create my 2-month schedule between the months of February and March, which helped me stay on track throughout the whole process.
How did your filming process go? Was that also a high stress time for you?
Surprisingly, it was a pretty simple process. Because I already had a clear idea of what I wanted to do, it wasn't very difficult executing it. I had 2 days of filming. I was able to use a tripod I had from when I took my film classes in middle school. The first day, my friend Samantha Burke and I filmed each scene except in the end where she submits her project on the computer. The first day went pretty well. However, when we watched the clips back, I noticed some mistakes and shots that I wanted to change. So on the second day, I reshot them and shot the ending. My favorite part that I reshot was the scene where she walks from the car to the door. I made sure to use more of a lower angle than long and medium shots. This gave Taylor more power. But when she finally sat down on her bed, I made the first texting angle higher so we could show that she felt powerless, and then I made the angle lower again to show her emotions being expressed on her face.
Did you feel that editing was also a breeze?
Although editing was definitely a cool process, I would not say that it was a breeze. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a great editing service. However, it was a very tedious one. After importing all of my videos, I had to render them, which took what felt like forever. Then I had to sync them to the song I chose called Anymore by N3X. But I felt like the videos needed more after I did this. It wasn't special and it wasn't my own. So I added in some Foley sounds like the keys in Taylor's pocket and the footsteps when she leaves the car. I also added in the text messages from her friend Maddie. These took me so long to do. I wrote all about how I made them on my blog. The scene was originally going to be a transition between the diegetic and non-diegetic sound for the music videos which Taylor would have played from her phone. However, I completely got rid of this idea. I made it seem like she was texting her friend Maddie between the Foley text sounds and the iMessage graphics.
Was it difficult using Adobe Premiere Pro?
Because of my prior experience using it in Film 1 and Film 2, it wasn't incredibly difficult for me. But it was pretty harsh on my computer. So harsh, in fact, that it broke my computer. On my last night of editing my final touches, my computer turned off and never turned on again. So of course, I freaked out. But I found an older version of my project that I'd actually saved to my OneDrive previously so I could show my friends my project on my phone. Thank goodness I did that, or I would have had to start all over again. All I had to do was add a couple of final touches in iMovie on my new computer, the MacBook Pro.
Was it difficult switching computers near the end of your project?
It was definitely challenging learning how to use an Apple computer compared to a Microsoft that I'd been using for 6 years, but I think I got the hang of it pretty quickly.
So overall, how do you think your project went?
I think my project went great. I stuck to my schedule and I was able to create it with ample time to go back and make some last final edits. Of course, I would want to make sure to use a computer that's able to handle Premiere a bit better without breaking it or slowing it down. I also would make sure to get more outside opinions on my editing techniques rather than just my own. But overall, I think my project turned out amazing, and I hope you all do too.
We sure do. Thank you so much for visiting us today. We can't wait to have you back next time.
I had a great time. I can't wait to come back next time.